Hi, Ron Siliko here. In this video I want to talk about the importance of finding resources to help in your development. And specifically in this video I want to talk about ways that you can keep your eyes open to find resources, whether they're books, videos, TED Talks, television, speakers, finding those resources that help you articulate and clarify what you believe your personal purpose is, your values, and your personal vision that is so important to you in your life. And what I was looking at, and something that really hit home for me and helped emphasize why I love recreation, why I'm a recreation professional, and I want to provide those kind of facilities for my children personally. Reading the Bob Feller book, Little Black Book of Baseball Wisdom, and he has got a section in here that really hit home for me. Obviously, Bob Feller, one of the greatest pitchers in the history of baseball. Tremendously fascinating life. I would recommend this book, and there will be a link on the video on how you can get this book if you're interested in learning more about Bob Feller. But this section was so poignant for me because it really helped clarify and hit home for me what I believe in passionately as a recreation professional. The section is titled, "The Field of Dreams My Dad Built for Me." I can honestly say that I learned to play this wonderful game known to the world as baseball right in my own backyard. My first coach was my very own father. My dad did something for me that changed my entire life, and I recommend that fathers everywhere try doing it for their children. He built me my own Field of Dreams, the model upon which Kevin Costner based his movie Field of Dreams 57 years later. Dad was ahead of his time when he built me a ballpark back in 1932. Mother's father, Ed Ferret, had a ball diamond about 2 miles away on his farm in Boonville. That was what gave my father the idea to build us our own ball diamond. The concept of a Field of Dreams was my dad's idea, and he broached it to me. Naturally, as a child, I couldn't wait to get started helping him put up this park. We were a team in every respect. My father and mother gave me lots of time and lots of love, the two most important things that any parents can give their children. My dad loved sports, baseball in particular, and he loved kids. There wasn't anything my dad wouldn't do for me. He bought me the best equipment he could, the best gloves, the best baseballs, the best bats. He bought me top-of-the-line uniforms. The building of this field didn't happen overnight. It truly was an undertaking beyond all expectations. My father had to cut down, with an old-fashioned saw, 20 small trees. When I say small trees, I mean trees that weren't hundreds of years old, but rather 100 or 50 years old. I helped him cut some of those trees down with our old cross-cut saw, but the bark was thick and it was strenuous work. We had 80 acres of timber on our property, mostly acorn oak, so we decided to call our little Field of Dreams Oakview. We could wake up early in the morning, look down from our farm up on the hill, and see those beautiful oak trees off in the distance surrounding our little ballpark, 3/4 of a mile north of the Raccoon River. When the fall came and the leaves changed, it was a beautiful sight to behold. Our Field of Dreams had everything. We installed benches and put in seats behind the chicken wire, which was about 12 foot high. We installed 2 outhouses, one for the ladies and one for the gentlemen. We charged 25 cents a game. Double headers were 35 cents. My father and I dragged the field by hand to keep it in shape. We built up the pitcher's mound, and any groundskeeper could tell you that building up a mound is one of the most important and toughest jobs in groundskeeping. We brought in the clay and tapped it down, sometimes using a pickup truck or a team of horses to do this. We even had our own soda pop stand. In those days, every small town had a baseball team. My dad was the manager of the Oakview team that played in our Field of Dreams, and he had most all of the young adults in the area playing on it. I was the only kid there at the time. I was 12 years old, so I also played American Legion ball. My dad booked the games for an entire season with teams from all over Iowa, and we also played in central Iowa. All of the young men played baseball on Sundays, and news of our field spread. We had a telephone party line with 17 people, and word of mouth made our field a household name. It was from the pitcher's mound in our field of dreams, where my father pitched to me so often after school, that I was prepared to advance to the major leagues. I could pitch at odd moments when other kids could not, so I practiced in a 15-minute block of time here and there, and all of a sudden I had an incredibly strong arm for my age. This made it possible for me to be known as a young phenom throughout Iowa. As for the Sunday ritual of playing baseball and going to games, it was the norm back then. Nowadays, if you ask your girlfriend to come watch you play baseball on a Sunday afternoon, you lose a girlfriend. She'd probably go off with someone else who didn't care about baseball and would chauffeur her around in a new convertible. How times have changed. If a father approached me to ask why he should invest all the time necessary to building a field of dreams, I'd tell him that there is no greater reward in the world than enhancing your relationship with your child, and building a field of dreams will bring a father and child closer together. It will be invaluable to the child's educational process and invaluable to the father's relationship with his son or daughter. It will show the child that the father has the utmost confidence in him or her, and thus will help the child mature. This is exactly how I felt when my dad and I worked side by side building the ball field on our farm. I knew my dad had confidence in me, and that was his way of displaying it. Building a field of dreams gives a child something to be proud of, and something to keep in his or her heart forever. I recommend that every father who has the capability to do this for his child do it. I found something I love to do, and consequently I never had to work a day in my life. Thomas A. Edison said, "Decide what you like to do in life. Start young. Never work another day. Do what you like to do and become proficient at it, and if you're lucky, it'll never feel as though you're working." Boy, was that a powerful section for me, as I've talked and related about my profession, my philosophies and values of raising children, giving them opportunities for recreation and athletics, being involved in coaching, parenting, and providing support. Bob Feller hit on a few themes in that section that I thought were so valuable to parents. One is the belief that parents have in their child, giving them a place to play, the emphasis and importance of family, helping them develop a foundation of fundamentals to succeed in whatever they choose to in life, and then potentially even an eventual professional career within that specific interest. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this section from the Bob Feller's Little Black Book of Baseball Wisdom. Have a good day.